Vitamin and mineral absorption. Like most absorption in the GI tract, this occurs in the small intestine. Vitamins D, A, E, and K are fat-soluble vitamins, so they get absorbed along with the lipids that we talked about previously. Vitamins C and most B vitamins are water-soluble, so they get absorbed via facilitated transport. The one exception is vitamin B12, which only gets absorbed in the ileum, which is the middle region of the small intestine, and only in the presence of intrinsic factor, which is released by the parietal cells of the stomach. As far as mineral absorption, iron and calcium, as we see right here in this top enterocyte right here, iron can be absorbed in two forms. In the isolated form that we see right here, co-transported with hydrogen, moves out the basolateral surface via the transport protein ferroportin. The heme group itself can move into the enterocyte, and then the heme group is going to be broken down into the porphyrin ring and the isolated iron atom, which once again moves through that ferroportin channel. Calcium absorption occurs as follows. Calcium diffuses into the cell and then via the apical surface, and then on the basal surface, it moves into the extracellular fluid via the sodium-calcium antiporter and the calcium pump, which we see here. For the antiporter, 3 sodium come in, for 1 calcium that goes out. Certainly, these 3 sodium will leave again via the sodium-potassium pump. But one thing to highlight here is that these two methods of moving calcium out of the cell are the exact same 2 methods utilized to move calcium out of the myocardial contractile cells, where we saw the sodium-calcium exchanger and the calcium pump that actually pumps calcium back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. And then as far as other minerals such as sodium and chloride, sodium can move in via facilitated diffusion, also via co-transporter, the sodium chloride co-transporter, and the sodium hydrogen antiporter. Here we also see chloride moving into the cell via the chloride shift, with bicarbonate leaving the cell in exchange for chloride. Chloride diffuses out into the extracellular fluid, and that sodium that came in moves out via the sodium-potassium pump. The great majority of water absorption occurs in the small intestines, and that is going to follow all of these solutes that move into the extracellular fluid via the process of osmosis through the paracellular pathway. So I was remiss to say that some calcium does move through the paracellular pathway, meaning it's moving between the enterocytes, and water does the same. It's going to move between the cells to the extracellular fluid.